Hello and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 16. With me, Stretch, my good mate Tin Ribs, and my very good friend Jim Jam. I'm not going to start with a fact this week.
Because I've got the fact.
Because Jim Jam has brought a fact for us this week.
So
I don't know what it is this week.
So there is one team across the Premier League, Championship, League One and League Two that have not scored a header goal
this season.
Just one team.
Extreme if it was like ever.
I was going to say, you've narrowed it down to 92 teams.
92 teams, so
Easy.
So it's just like putting a pin in a donkey, isn't it, really?
I'm just going to throw a random Forest Green Rovers.
No,
because they're all vegans, so they're scared of the leather and all.
Not a bad shout. I want to go Tottenham just because I hate them and the shit, but I'm going to go for I'm going to go for Wrexham.
The team that has not scored a header is Plymouth Argyle. I thought that was really fascinating when I was.
That's crazy, isn't it? When you're like halfway through the season, basically.
Yeah, halfway through the season, then they've not scored a header.
That's insane, isn't it, really?
The team that have scored the most headers, Stockport. 17 headers they've scored. And in second now will be Arsenal. 13. Because 2 today. They were on 11.
Wow.
But when you were saying about throwing crosses into 5'2" and a fag end, and you were like, oh, why'd we bother? That's why. Score goals from headers.
Yeah, I mean, we were playing a very poor team again today. They defended so badly. We'll get into that when we get into that.
But there you go. I thought that was interesting. I was trying to find, I was going through free kicks and everything, and then I found the header. Actually. And then when I found one that hadn't
scored... Are you
going
to be our regular stat man now, then?
Yeah.
So when we want a stat, we can go, that's your homework.
Because
my homework is all the editing, I think.
Yeah.
Rather than lazy.
I'll try to find
your bone idol. I do all the editing, so you can be the stat man.
I'll try to find your stat man.
Statman Jim, there we go. So you're the one that's now going to come up with the crazy facts.
Come on, Plymouth. What are you doing? Score a header.
So
how long is it going to take?
You. Well, we've got one which you can work out by the end of this pod. Right, there's one team, again, top 4 divisions, with 5 consecutive consonants in the name. Who is it? I'll leave you to mull it over and I'll tell you at the end. Blue cards, boys, blue cards. There's a lot of talk at the minute about blue cards.
I'm not going to lie. I think we should do this after the intro because it's going to take forever on this one.
We've completed the intro.
Play the music. Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Sunday League Pundit Show, and now we're going to go into blue cards and what we think of them and whether we think they should be implemented, whether we think they should not be implemented, and how useful we think they're going to be. I'm going to start with Tin Ribs.
So,
thoughts?
My first thoughts is, if you're still going to be a bitch and not issue yellow cards, what's the point of bringing a blue card that you're going to be too much of a bitch to fucking issue in the first place? Because the refs have no bollocks. The refs have no bollocks. They're too busy worrying about what their social media will say about them and what people will say, that they're too scared to put their hand in their fucking pocket and pull out a card. How many times do we hear the words, that's a clear red, that's a clear yellow, why is it not being given? They don't, because they're scared shitless of doing it. So what's the point of giving them a blue card? It's just another card they're not going to fucking use.
Which basically acts as a yellow anyway, because if you've got a yellow and he gives you a blue, you're not simbing, you're sent off.
Yeah, no. It works differently. Because a yellow card, you're still on the pitch. The team is not penalised. They've just got to be careful. You make a blue card offence, you're penalising the team for 10 minutes where you're down a player.
I disagree.
You disagree? So you're not penalised by losing a player for 10 minutes?
I didn't say that. You said you're penalising the team that's losing the player. That I disagree with. I think you're penalising the team that loses a player the fans, the game itself, because you're just going to go to a flat back 10 for 10 minutes. It's going to ruin the game. Ruin the game. I get why it's been brought in on Sunday League.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with it on a Sunday League.
On a
because
level, yeah.
I've played for teams where you've had one or two men that run a team. And if you lose one of them for 10 minutes, that will completely change the game. And it will make a massive difference. And respect at the lower league, like if you have a go at a referee on a Sunday, who's there to witness it? Two teams, one of which is going to go, didn't see it.
Yeah.
Who's there to watch it if a ref gets abused? 60,000 people in most stadiums.
So 2 points on that, and this is actually agreeing with you. So first point, they're on about using it for when the ref's getting crowded.
Dissent.
Yeah.
Dissent. The refs are supposed to book anyone from captain +1 anyway, and they don't, which is again bringing up my point that they're too fucking scared. So they've already got the thing implemented for that, but they don't do it already. So it's not going to work. It's simply not going to work. It's just giving them another card to not fucking use. Going on your whole flat back thing, when we played that Sunday League before I quit the team, we had a moment where I can't remember which player lobbed off first, but basically we lost Bish and Josh in one go, and we were playing probably the best team in the league at the time. So we went down from 6 men to 4 men for 3 minutes. Do you know how many shots on target they had on me in that 3 minutes?
None.
None. Because for that 3 minutes, everyone just sat back and defended. So for 3 minutes, we shut them out completely.
Yeah.
4 versus 6, and we shut them out. Because like you said, you lose a man, what are you going to do? Oh, we'll just put 10 men behind the ball. Okay. It's going to do nothing. It's going to kill the pace. It's going to kill the game. And it's just going to be boring. I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's a terrible idea because when it's in situ, the game's going to go boring and it's going to be no good. And to get that situation, you've got to have a referee who's got the bollocks to actually do it. And we all know the referees have got no bollocks.
And to be fair, like I could turn around to you as a referee and call you a prick and you're okay with it. And then the next week I could have you call you a prick and you blue card me for it. Yeah. There's going to be no consistency.
Yeah, there's no consistency anyway.
Again, but then that's the point. Is if there's no consistency when you're watching a replay, how is there going to be consistency when you're just hearing, did he say that? Did I just hear that? Did I hear this? Did I hear that?
It's easy to implement if you want to do it that way.
So was VAR.
But it is that if somebody, but none of the captain speaks to the referee, he's allowed to speak to the referee. Anybody else that speaks to the referee, or
isn't that a rule now anyway?
Yeah, it is a rule.
But they don't implement it.
That's the problem. It's
when you kick the ball away. First 10 games of the season, kick a ball away, yellow card. Now, nothing happens. There's no consistency in the game. Nobody. I'm with tin ribs on the fact that nobody's got the balls to just stand up and go, it's the rule, simple as. Now, if you score a goal and jump into the crowd, you get booked. So why can't you book them for kicking a ball away? You know the rules. You're a referee. You know the rules. You know what's there and what's meant to be done and what's not meant to be done.
So I'm going to word it like this. Probably, arguably, the best referee of all time, and I doubt if anyone's going to disagree with me. Kalina.
Yeah.
Right? But why was he the best referee? Because he took no shit and he made his decisions and stood by him. He had bollocks.
And he looked like he was going to eat you.
Yeah, to be fair, he did look pretty psychotic, didn't he?
Proper looked like a psycho, didn't he?
What a fantastic referee. Didn't take any shit. As soon as something happened, bang, decision was made. You didn't argue with him. To be fair, you're probably scared to argue with him. I wouldn't have argued with him. But he had that instant, this is my decision, this is what I'm doing, this is how it goes, deal with it. No referee does it anymore.
No.
That's because they've got VAR and they're too afraid to make a decision, or they want VAR to make the decision.
But this is the whole point. We haven't got any refs. So what is the point in giving them another tool to do fuck all with?
I'm with you.
I think the ideal in principle is fine. I agree that the blue card could work in certain situations.
Yes,
but it doesn't. It won't work because of the consistency. They can't get VAR consistent. They can't get a referee consistent.
What did we say today? Like, just skipping ahead a little bit, we'll just do a couple of seconds on it now. You and I had a conversation a little bit ago, right, about the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
About Saka's penalty.
Yeah.
We both watched it and thought, oh, that was touch and go. Second we saw the replay, he's onside.
Yeah. Kufal played him
It took them
onside.
nearly 4 minutes, and they had to draw lines. They had to do that. We saw it instantly.
You didn't need a line.
You didn't need a line. You didn't need to double check it. It should have just been look at it and go, "Oh, he's on." Yeah, don't worry.
It was blatant.
He goes through. It's a penalty. It's the right to call. Carry on.
But this is the point.
But they waited 4 minutes
Blue
to make a
cards.
basic decision.
Terrible idea.
I think
Again,
it's absolutely horrific.
Grassroots
idea.
level, Sunday League,
I
even
think
down
it's
to
great
kids.
for that.
Even down to kids.
Great.
Brilliant idea.
Because it makes a massive difference. When you're talking Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Leeds, Southampton, you've got 11 great players on the pitch.
They should know the rules and have played the game at that
You've
level
been down
already.
to 10 men. Arsenal were the kings of going down to 10 men in the late 90s when we had Vieira. We were forever going down to 10 men. And we kept winning because we were used to it, and we've got 10 great players left on the pitch.
One of our best.
Now, if you go down to Sunday League, they don't have 11 fantastic players per side. Usually, you've got 2, maybe 3. If you're really lucky, you've got 3 brilliant players. But if you're one of these teams that's got 2 great players, I remember times when, like, me and you were playing at the Nesbitt, and there was like maybe Blockhead and Span. You lose one of them, you're in trouble. And if say Blockhead had gone off for 10 minutes, that's a massive hole in your team. And so on a Sunday League, huge. Premier League, you telling me, like now, we're watching Villa versus Man United, right? 2 decent teams. United are currently 55th minute, United are 1-0 up. Now you're telling me if a Villa player gets sin bin now, they need a goal, and they go down to 10 men for 10 minutes. So they've got till 65 minutes now with only 10 men. They're just going to flat back 10. They're all going to park on the 6-yard box and go, you carry on. They're not even going to play the counter-attack. They're going to go just sit out for 10 minutes. Don't push anybody forward because he's back on in 10 minutes. Just give us 10 minutes of solid defending. It ruins it for Villa. It ruins it for United. It ruins it for the fans. It ruins it for Sky Sports. It ruins it for everyone at home. It ruins it for everyone around the world
But
who's
then the
watching
player
this game.
should know better.
No,
And
the
maybe
refs should know better. If you don't like being called a wanker and a player's called you a wanker, get your yellow card out.
Yeah.
That's what the rule is there for.
But what they're saying is, in theory, they shouldn't be going up to him to question his decision, even if he's doing it in a nice way.
Exactly.
Going, you're wrong. 4 players go up to him. You're wrong. It should be bang, bang, bang. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. But that's what the rule's there for. But they don't implement it.
Oh, now I've got this pathetic blue card to do fuck all with.
But the thing is, though,
yellow card.
You've got rules and cards now. If they're not implementing them properly, why bring in more rules for them to get wrong again?
Dead easy as well. Captain. But you know why? Because you've not disciplined your players. We told you before kick-off, only you can speak to me. You've not listened. There's your booking. Get rid of the captain. If he can't control his team...
I disagree with that.
Get rid of it.
Because I think...
That is extreme. I don't actually agree with that.
The captain goes up to the ref.
You might as well just say...
The captain goes up to the ref. Because I used to go up to the ref quite a lot. And I go, what was that call for? I don't understand what the call was for. And he goes, offside, it's free kick, it's corner, it's this. I go, oh, no, I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
that's fine if you want to go and approach him. Because generally on a Sunday League, the ref didn't know who your captain was. So I would always go up to the ref and I'd go, what was that call for? Because I didn't understand what it was for. So he'd tell me what it was for and I'd go, okay, cool, no problem. Then I'd walk off. But Premier League, you know who the captain is. So when Odegaard, say, goes up to the ref and goes, what was that for? Oh, it was for this. Now, if Jesus comes up to the ref, yellow. Fuck off, man. I don't want to know.
Ask your captain. Ask
your captain, because he's just come up and asked me the very same thing you're now going to whinge at me about.
Yeah.
Now, the captain knows he's in a position where he can approach me and ask me questions.
Yeah.
You're just going to whinge. Yellow. I don't even want you to open your mouth. Yellow card, go away.
Yeah.
That is already in the rules.
And they don't do it.
Because they're too scared.
So why bring in a blue card that they're not going to use?
If they're too scared to use a yellow, why are they going to be... Just shit.
It's not...
Stupid, dumb idea at the professional level.
It's like... It's going to become a race war between the Simpsons and the Smurfs. Well, why will you use a Smurf card if you're not going to use a Simpson card? Racism. I know that's a little bit extreme, but
no,
you get the point, though, don't you? If they're not going to use the yellow, they're not going to use the blue, are they? It's simple. If you haven't got what it takes to stand up, it's hard to be a ref. I get that they get a load of crap, right, and I get that they get a load of hassle.
Mm-hmm.
And there's very few people in the world that can handle it to a certain extent. Me personally, I think I'd thrive off it, but it's because of my bell end.
Yeah, we know
And
that.
60,000 people having a go at me, I think I'd find it funny.
But again,
But I'd then give decisions purposely against you just to wind you up even more. So I'd make a shit ref.
but I'm looking at like the whole idea on like, especially with Sunday League, you could effectively just get rid of the other cards unless it is something absolutely like
They need red
actual
cards
assault.
because we've seen games. Like, oh well, were you there? That guy when he backheeled somebody in the head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
So shit like that. I mean,
yeah.
you need. I mean, they
No,
didn't
there
even
is.
get sent
There's
off for that.
stuff,
But
there is. What I mean
No.
is, on a Sunday League, grassroots level, you could effectively get rid of. Except
yellow cards could go.
Yeah, you do essentially, unless it is an extreme circumstance, you don't even need the red. Sending, like you said, it's a more crippling thing, isn't it, at a grassroots level to lose a player.
Yes.
So
100%.
blue cards at grass level, fantastic idea. I just don't see in a professional game any place.
For anyone that's not sure why we think it's a good idea at grassroots and not a professional level, because when you're talking professional level, and I'm talking anywhere from the conference or even below the conference, you are disciplined enough to go flat back 10 if you have a man sin bin for 10 minutes. Now, when you go Sunday League,
No discipline.
talking from a goal scorer's point of view on a Sunday League, I wouldn't have stuck to a flat back 10 if we were down for 10 minutes. I'd have sat on the halfway line and I'd have gone, no, you get the ball and you boot it forward and I'm going to go and try and score. Because it's the only way I knew of playing. I couldn't defend. I didn't know how to. It wasn't in my DNA.
I mean, speaking to people at direct and non-league at a level, and they like the blue cards are there at the moment, and they said that they've only seen 2 in the last season and a half because refs don't do it. So if you don't do it at grassroots level,
It's going to
and
ruin.
they let the players crowd.
Yeah, but hang on that note though, let's look on our own experience, right? How many yellow cards would you say you saw personally a season?
What? At Sunday
Not
League
given
level?
not given to you, just given to your team at Sunday League.
Oh, quite often I know that there were
often?
certain players
Really?
that love to
Did
get
you?
booked.
Mate,
Yeah.
I mean, in the 6 years
Mate.
I was at the Nesbitt, I probably saw two.
Every
he'll tell you
game.
now, I was an arsehole. I drop kicked a kid in the face, and I've only received 2 yellow cards. I've told referees to go fuck himself and everything. I've only received 3 yellow cards and 2 red cards. Admittedly, the red cards were pretty vicious. But the fact of the matter is, I was probably one of the most booked players in our team. And in 10 years, I've only received 5 cards.
In the 6 years I was at Nesbitt, I probably saw 2 yellows given
That's
out.
what I mean.
And I probably deserved
Countless.
maybe 11, maybe more. And I never received a yellow card ever.
I got that.
My word, when I was secretary for the year, every single week, at least a couple
Who did you
bookings.
play for? Convict FC?
And you know what? Most of the time, it was for mouthing off at the referee.
Yeah, but what I mean is,
Were you secretary for Stoke Heath?
No.
Like the Young
I mean,
Offenders
I'm
Institute?
literally
'Cause I know they
thinking,
play on Saturday.
I'm talking 5 cards in easy 12 years. And he'll tell you.
I never got booked.
Yeah, but how much of an arsehole was I?
About the same as me.
Some people loved a booking. I mean, I only ever got booked once.
But this is my point. But over the years,
I
don't
deserve
think-
to get booking a hell of a lot more.
Mate, I've seen a lot of people who deserve bookings, but I haven't seen that many.
Mm.
So going on the whole, I've only seen a few blues. You're not going to see many because you just don't see cards.
I've only
at that
seen
level.
one blue.
I've never seen. Well, I won't see.
I've had it in a game. We went down to 10, and then shortly after they lost one. Not long after, so then the game was even. Then
Yeah, I just don't. Like I say, on a grassroots level, yeah, fine.
Even if it's implemented, I don't think it'll be done
But
properly.
what point I was getting at is, so in 10 to 12 years, I got 5 cards. You've never received a card. You've received how many cards? What would you say? So you've received 1 card ever.
yeah.
Ever.
But I've seen a lot of players
that's 6
get booked.
years
So-
in over 35 years of football.
6 cards in the combined total of over 30 years of football.
It depends
The
how
average
good you are.
football
You
game-
can avoid getting cards. You've got to speak nicely to the
No.
referee. The ones that don't
Yeah,
speak
no.
nicely.
Did
to the
I ever
referee.
speak nicely to a
Do you remember,
referee?
do you remember one of my yellow cards when I asked the ref and the linesman if they needed a rule book for Christmas because they didn't know the offside rule?
Yeah, vaguely.
And
I remember you having a go at a ref for being racist towards Marcus.
Yeah, I know. You
That-
didn't know.
that was-
I got nothing for that. I even followed him onto the car park.
Yeah,
asking
that
why he
was pretty
racist.
bad. Yeah,
But that was horrendous. That was completely. That was horrendous.
Oh,
He should
My
have.
booking was for the opposition won a penalty, and the penalty was completely fine. It was a penalty, but the striker hit the post and then scored off a rebound.
no goal because you can't touch the ball twice off the ball.
Referee said, "No, it's a different phase of play."
How is that a different phase
No.
of play?
But again,
So I
nobody's
said he
touched the
was.
ball.
But I'm with
So
you.
I said he was. So I blatantly went
Nobody's
mad
touched
at the
ball. How
ref.
is that another?
Exactly, he
This is
did,
no
the
different.
referee
This is
did
no
not know the
different to when-
rules.
I got a booking basically because they had a free kick. It's come in. I've come out and punched it away. It's then got snapped back into the player who stood behind me, and we've got a guy on the line. So I have become the last man. He's offside. The referee allowed that goal to stand. So I asked the ref if he knew the rule. He goes, "Be quiet." And I went, "Does the linesman know the rule?" The ref again told me to be quiet. And I went, "Tell you what, leave me your address at the end of the game. I'll get you both a rule book because you clearly have no idea about the offside rule."
I mean,
They are bad.
they should know better than that at Premier League level, obviously.
Well,
Because
no, but even on Sunday level, they should know better.
oh wow,
Wow.
that should have been a goal. I remember one cup game that was.
Hey, now it's in.
What an absolute celebration!
Just in case anybody's wondering, which you probably are, because nobody's going to be watching this game when it's released. Villa have just equalised by Douglas Luiz, who's just done some really weird,
Shimmy.
dirty dancing style shimmy as a celebration. He's in my
I'm more
dream team,
gutted.
so I don't
I
mind.
wish that was the Man United fans in front of him, and it would have made it.
I love the fact
No.
the only reason Onana saved the first one was because it actually was directly into it.
But I should know. I've been Villa Park. I know the away
Oh my God,
end
he used
is
his
near the
hands.
halfway line.
I thought he used his chest, so that makes it even worse.
Because he could have caught it. Or even
Could
pushed
have,
it further away.
should have.
I'll go with could have. I wouldn't say he should have caught it, but it could have done. And that there was not like it.
No.
That
To be
was for the
fair, is
keeper's
Bruno
benefit, that
Hernandez like too busy celebrating his save before as well?
was. Probably.
I don't know.
Oh no, it's Varane.
Probably. But I would like to say I'm quite pleased
Sorry.
that they're
Yes,
equalised
yes.
with
Come on, Villa.
Not a big fan of them either, but
I've got
There
to
we
finish,
go.
Villa.
so yeah, I think we're all pretty much against blue cards coming in. I think they're going to bring it in for next year's FA Cups for both the women and the men, and I think it's going to destroy my favourite competition.
It is.
No, they'll be making the FA Cup a joke. It's
The
bad
only-
enough that they have VAR at only Premier League grounds
Yeah, I think that's
now,
crazy. Shouldn't
and
have
that's
VAR in the
just
FA Cup.
wrong.
I think it's a case
So
of...
the FA Cup will just become a joke trophy, and it's the best cup. I know it's your
understand
favourite,
why
but
you can have VAR at some games and not others. It's supposed to be a competition for equal level.
I
It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. it
no
should be.
part of that is okay for me. No part of that is
So
okay. There
we've
shouldn't
got
be VAR in
VAR.
the FA Cup. There
in
shouldn't
our
be
next
VAR
game,
in the
we've
League
got
Cup.
VAR because we're going to Liverpool.
We'll have VAR because we're going to Stamford Bridge. But you got VAR on our next one.
You can go off people, can't you?
But obviously,
Do you know that's the only benefit I can take from next season's FA Cup being ruined is we're not going to get any further than the third round because Arteta doesn't give a shit about it.
but listening on the radio and the fans, the Emirates Stadium is like the happiest place in the world right now because Arteta has brought back the atmosphere to
He's
the Emirates.
destroyed last season's goalkeeper of the season. Ramsdale was in Team of the Year. There are only 20 goalkeepers in that league, and he was the best out of all 20. And Arteta went, need another goalkeeper. Oh, I know. I'll go for my mate who's Spanish. Fuck off, Arteta. And then he signed Havertz, who's literally a meme. And we're still shy today, and we won 6-0.
Oh, he's all right. Look, he just rolled around like he'd been shot, but as soon as the guy went past him, he
So I'm not happy about the blue card thing. I don't think I just don't think it's going to be a good thing.
No,
I
terrible
really
idea.
don't. I'm gonna very quickly whip through our predictions game before we go to the break, because we've got a lot of events to talk about for the week for the second half.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Leeds Rotherham.
I honestly thought Rotherham were going to put up a decent fight. Didn't think
You
they'd
scored
ball
a
over.
third, and I wasn't expecting it, so I was very disappointed. I had you down for 2-0. You had 2-1. Jim Jam had 3-0. Darryl had 3-0. Max had 3-0. Jay had 2-0, and it was 3-0. So 3 of them got spot on that week. So that's
Copy
3
my
points.
score.
That's
Jim,
scored.
Darryl, and Max.
Leeds, right out.
They finally hit it for you, though.
Yeah.
Are you going to
No,
change
they've
it?
done it again. I've got 2 right scores, and it's both been 3-0 Leeds.
Well, sure, of course, it's been both.
And
been
then I
3-0.
didn't
It's the
go
only score you've gone
3-0.
for
And
so
then,
far.
no, I went 2-0. I think it was the week after they won 3-0, and they won 3-0 again, so that really pissed me off.
That was funny.
So I should have had another.
Southampton, got to be honest, was not expecting that game.
I was not, and I've got to say, I had them down and out at half time.
It turns out your defence came from Sunday League in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And
you know what the worst part about that game was? I mean, it wasn't there,
conceded
obviously.
3.
No. How some of the Southampton fans, had the right to boo off that team. Yeah, they played badly, but how can you stand there and boo a team that's gone 24 games unbeaten at that point and boo them off a pitch is kind of like, come on, have a bit of respect for the team itself.
You defended like Forest Green Rovers.
But they still don't deserve to be booed off a pitch.
Defended more like Forrest Gump.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It was
don't
terrible.
clap them off or anything.
I'm sorry,
but you shouldn't be booing the
I'm
team
with
that's
Jim
playing
Jam
well.
on that
it
one.
was Huddersfield Town.
I'm with
Yeah.
Jim Jam on that one. You can't boo a team that's
If
won
you've
like
lost 25 games in a row, then absolutely boo the shit out of them.
I know.
But I don't think a team that's playing that well deserves to be booed.
Since the winter break, right, Arsenal have won 4 out of 4. We've just won 6-0, beat Liverpool 3-0. And as much as I'm not a big fan of Arteta, and I don't want him at the club, and I don't think he should be there, I'm not going to now boo him and scream Arteta out the top of my lungs because he's doing all right at the minute, sort of. I mean, there's still a lot I think is wrong, but, you know, the results are going well, and Arsenal are playing well, and there seems to be a lot of confidence within the team.
But if you're 1-0 down in your next game at home, you don't expect the team to get booed off.
I still wouldn't be screaming Arteta out as being... I wouldn't be booing. I mean, unless it was Liverpool again. But
So, did you say you've won every game since Christmas?
Since the winter break?
Yeah, we don't get a winter break, so we just say since Christmas.
Well, no, because we had a week off, didn't we?
Yeah.
We do actually get a winter break now.
In the month of January,
play too many games in the Prem. Yeah.
How about going? Anyway, going back to it, you actually won 5-3.
Yeah.
I had you down as 3-0. Tin had 2-0. You had 2-1. You really didn't think much of your team. Darryl, Max.
I was right. Technically, I was right.
Is he the only one who actually said that they would concede?
No, Jay had him down for 3-1.
Okay.
I said it'd be tough.
Darryl and Max had 3-0. So
and
we all got
bring
1
up a
point.
fight. So technically, I was right.
We all knew you'd win. So we all got a point. And some of us even got the score, like the score difference right. You said 2-0. They won by 2. Jay said 3-1. They won by 2. Nobody got the score right, but then
I don't think anyone was ever
nobody was going to
like a message
Oh,
saying
no.
if somebody got that score right, they deserve double points.
No, I'm going to say if someone had got that, I'd be demanding access to their time machine.
West Ham versus Arsenal.
I'm guessing nobody's got this score right either.
Well, I went 3-0. Tin went 2-0. You went 3-0. Darryl said 3-1. Max said 2-0, all to Arsenal. Jay said it'd be 2-2 draw. It was actually 6-0. Yeah. Nobody really was expecting that. So,
is Jay the closest for getting the most goals? Oh no, Darryl got the most goals as well, 4.
Yeah, they said 4 each, but they're still miles off. So we have joint winners that week with 5 points, which is Jim Jam, Darryl, and Max all got 5 points that week. Me and Tim got 3, and Jay. Sorry, Jay, you got 2. So that means that Darryl is still winning with 25. He's not still got 25, he's not, but he's still winning. Jim second, 24.
Yeah.
Me in third with 22. Tin Ribs and Max jointly with 18. But as we know, we can't have joints.
Yeah.
Max is above Tin because he's had more correct score lines.
And the fact that he's got there fucking quicker.
Well, he's done it in 4 weeks. We've taken 8. So literally half the time.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to boot Max out of this at some point, I reckon.
No, I'm okay. Like I say, I just need to be ahead of both of you two at the.
What I need to start doing is getting Max's predictions for next week before we come on air.
I'm going to start getting Max's on the Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Jay with 15, holding up the rear. I could have described that better, but I thought it was funnier like that. So I think what we'll do now is we'll go to a break, and we shall be back shortly. Hello, and welcome back from the break. We've actually had a good old chat during the break that time, and went on probably a little bit longer than we thought it was going to. But I would like to just mention once again that we are still doing the Everton shirt giveaway. And if you want to be in with a chance of winning, signed Everton shirt from 2012, head over to YouTube, Sunday League Pundit Show. Find any video there, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment hashtag Everton shirt, and you will be in with a chance of winning the shirt on what date?
2nd of March, I think.
2nd of March. Saturday the 2nd of March. We're not doing it on the Sunday that week because I'm taking my kids to go and watch Arsenal versus Tottenham in the Women's North London Derby at the Emirates. So, yeah, we're not going to be here for that Sunday. But Saturday, 2nd of March, we're going to do a live draw for the Everton shirt. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning it, then just head over to YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, hashtag Everton shirt, and you'll be in with a shout. Right, gentlemen, the week's events. Questions, comments, thoughts, opinions?
So we'll start off with Forest Newcastle.
Forest Newcastle, 5 goals. A lot of action.
I think the biggest thing in that game had to be at 2-2 when Forest striker was through on goal and the keeper took him out, so to speak. He had a trailing arm, he lifted his arm, caught him, went to VAR, they backed the ref's
Have
decision
you seen the
no
incident?
penalty.
You haven't seen the incident?
No.
So for me,
really
it was a penalty. I thought penalty. Even Alan Shearer on Match of the Day said penalty, and he's definitely biased. So.
It should have been a penalty. For me, it should have been a penalty. I was watching it with Zach at the time. He didn't think it was a penalty. I 100% did think it was a penalty.
Yes, but he's a Spurs fan.
He's a Spurs fan, so
yeah.
I mean,
and is that because that's big club favouritism? Again,
I don't. I mean, I'm a fan of one of the big clubs, so I don't suppose I can really have an opinion on that.
I was about to joke on Newcastle, a big club, but
they are a big club. They've got a massive fan base.
On fan base, they're massive.
Yeah, but they're a
And
one
potentially-
club city.
Oh, here we go again.
They are.
But that's like saying, well, Rangers and Celtic are the 2 biggest teams in Scotland. Who else are you going to support, really?
Yeah, but that's no different to saying like Liverpool.
I know the other
Man
teams have
United are a
got
big
fans,
club.
but not nearly as much as
Hang on,
Celtic.
Hang on. On that
The
argument,
Mothers.
it doesn't matter how many clubs are in your city. Look at Liverpool and Man United. 90% of their fan base is in fucking London. So it doesn't really matter how many teams are in your city. The fans will follow you no matter where you are.
It's only really London where there's like multitudes of teams.
Absolutely. So I'm sorry, your argument about the fan base is bollocks. Because there was actually a statistic. There's actually a statistic out there that states that 99% of Manchester United fans will never visit Old Trafford because something like 60% of them are in fucking China.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's like 99% of them haven't even got the opportunity to get tickets.
Exactly.
So that's why they'll never go to Old Trafford.
You can't turn around and say, "Oh, Newcastle are only a big club with a great fan base because they're on."
Well, okay, so I can say United are a big club because they've got fans in China, and because they've got fans in Africa and France and Portugal, Brazil, Spain, Newcastle got fans in Newcastle.
Newcastle got fans everywhere.
Yeah.
Not as many.
Not as many.
Not
but
nearly as many. So you can't. For me, Newcastle are massive in Newcastle. I bet if you go to China,
Tell you what, the atmosphere at Newcastle game's better than most.
99% of the people in China are not going to be able to name a Newcastle player. Yet 99% of them will be able to mention Liverpool,
They know him in
Man
Saudi
United,
Arabia.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
Chelsea.
that might be it now.
They'll definitely know him in Saudi Arabia, but that's the only country they're going to know him in. That's because Saudi Arabia own them. But yes, it was a decent game. It was a fun watch, but should have been a penalty.
I mean, I didn't watch that game because I thought I'm going to watch a Bundesliga game because it was unbeaten.
Don't laugh.
It was unbeaten Leverkusen against Harry Kane's.
No. 10-time winning Bayern Munich.
Imagine paying 100 million just to lose a league.
Imagine being one of the world's best strikers and going, I've had enough of struggling at Tottenham. Like, I'm getting the goals, but we're struggling to get anywhere, in competitions and in the league. I'm going to go somewhere I'm guaranteed a trophy, especially the league. They've won 10 or 11 in a row. And imagine going to that team, scoring, 1,000 goals in 20 games or whatever it is he scored, and still not winning a trophy.
I mean, I will say Leverkusen were quality.
Leverkusen this season
They were
superb,
quality.
which is amazing considering they gained Granit Xhaka.
Xhaka was good. He was good in that game.
Yeah, but he was good the last season for us.
Yeah, he was good. Teller was good, our former player.
Don't get me wrong.
So I'm glad that he's playing now because it frustrated me when he wasn't playing for Leverkusen. I was like, you could have stayed with us, you'd be playing football. But now he's playing for Leverkusen and he's scoring for him. I'm happy for him. He was a good player for us. We didn't utilise him.
If Granit Xhaka goes over to Germany and stops Kane winning a trophy, it'll go up in my estimation, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. But no, it was a good game. It was a good game of football, actually. But I'm not going to be sat there watching Bundesliga every week. I think it was still just a one-off. But I thought, let's see how Bayern get on, and they were not good. I think Oliver Kahn said to him they're lacking any sort of urgency. The spirit of Bayern's just not there at the moment.
Right.
But
because they bought the Spursy. That's what they did.
Xabi Alonso looks like he's a decent manager.
Yeah,
I really hope. I think
manager.
I would love it if he goes unbeaten. I think he should stay at Leverkusen. I think that is the right
move.
move.
Was a very Kevin Keegan
I know,
speech.
yeah, I
would love it.
What? I was dreading him saying, I'd love it if he went to Liverpool because I was going to actually get up and slap him.
No,
Yeah.
I think you should stay at Leverkusen and finish off the job that you've started.
Champions League, head full up, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
don't just
for
beat Bayern Munich. Like, they've got Harry Kane stomp and squish him into the ground.
But no, he seemed like he made sure that when he went over to the fans, he took all his backroom staff there, so he wasn't like he wasn't doing a Klopp at the end of their win against Burnley. Get back in the changing rooms. You've got 3 points.
Yeah.
For those on our audio medium, Jim Jam was then slapping his chest.
To be fair, I thought he was having a seizure.
I wasn't sure. I thought he'd boiled his water again.
To be fair, if Carragher hadn't have said what he said, I'm okay with it because Russell Martin does his fist pump at the end of a Southampton game, and I love it.
Yeah, but we've all seen the way Klopp celebrates. He literally he creates them gnashers, and he runs on the. He even ran up to Alisson on one game and
you know what?
his
It reminds me of. Do you remember when Mourinho beat Fergie with Porto?
And he sprinted down the side.
And everyone was like, at the time, but you've got to think the achievement. He took Porto, this absolute shite team in Porto.
Technically at the time, non-footballing man.
Yeah.
He was just a businessman at the time, not a footballing man, technically.
Beat the great Sir Alex Ferguson. Was it at Old Trafford? I think it was, wasn't it? At Old Trafford, knocking him out of the Champions League. That is a celebration. That's worth it. That's great. Klopp does that when they score against Burnley.
Do you remember him taking his whole team holding hands when they drew to all with West Brom or whatever it was?
Absolutely, yeah. And
was it West Brom?
I think it was.
I know it was.
And then you got
try
Carragher.
And be a little bit respectful. It was a smaller club.
And you got Carragher, one of the most overrated average centre backs of all time. Oh, get off the pitch! It's against your team. Shut up!
having a go at Arsenal. But he's never liked Arsenal anyway, has he?
Fucking camp.
Maybe that 14-year-old girl he spat out was an Arsenal fan. That's why he spat out. But yeah, Carragher, keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah.
Because your club over-celebrates more than any other team on the planet. So how you can have a go at Arsenal when everybody, including me, thought Arsenal were going to go into that game and lose.
Yeah.
And then they won 3-1 convincingly because your keeper's shite. And you're having a go at us for over-celebrating. And then Klopp does it again today. Goes mental. And you know, just get a grip. Get a grip.
That's enough for Liverpool.
Bored of that topic.
So, Sheffield United, unfortunately, I mean, good for them, but they beat Luton, which I think
that was quite a surprise. Luton were not at the races. I mean,
well, they had a lot of possession, they had a lot of shots, but even the manager said the statistics say we're a better team, but we weren't.
Yeah.
He said that wasn't good enough. Stats.
And this,
stats lied.
But this is, I've been saying for years and years and years, you can twist stats to make anybody look good.
Yeah.
You can pick out stats to make any player look good. Well, I'm thinking more Granit Xhaka in his first 6 years.
When everyone was banging on about Van Dijk being the best of all time, blah, blah, blah. And then people were doing the whole comparing him to Vidic with stats. And then there was like 1 year that Sundayleague was like better than the pair of them. And all that was an absolute trot.
Yeah, but there were two penalties for both teams. They evened themselves out, but I don't think either of them were penalties.
No, I don't.
And the manager turned around and goes,
sad,
I think it was Luton's manager, what is handball?
Yeah,
what is handball?
I don't even know what handball is.
I don't think anybody does.
I don't.
I mean, how either of them were handball? I mean, Sheffield United weren't even shouting for a penalty. Not one of their players shouted for it. But VAR came in and said, come on, ref, go to your monitor. And the referee doesn't have the bottle to stick with his decision.
Yeah, just go.
Which is highlighting your point from earlier. A referee needs to have a bottle where VAR goes, I think you should look at this, and then go, yeah, I'm looking at it. I still don't think it's a penalty.
I think
we did have one in the Women's World Cup where she looked at it and
won.
Yeah, but what I mean is, there you go. We've had a woman referee with the bollocks to do it, but we haven't got a man with the bollocks.
Well, it was like it was even that game.
You don't know if she'd actually got the bollocks to do it.
Where ages ago, where we spoke about it, where Newcastle and PSV played, where Mbappe got that penalty at the end that was so not a penalty, and the referee who had such a good game went with it.
That was fishy. But that was definitely a Europa sort of standing there and going, we need these in the tournament. We need these in the tournament.
I mean, like telling the referee, you have got to give this penalty, because I don't think the ref wanted to give it, but never mind.
That was fishier than fuck.
While we're on about results, for those that are curious, because we've been talking about it through the first half of the podcast, the Aston Villa Man United game is finished. Aston Villa 1, Man United 2. Man United had 17 shots and 5 on target. Villa had 23 shots with 10 on target and still lost.
Yeah.
So it goes to show, again, stats don't tell you the whole story, do they?
No, they don't.
But it was a decent header by McTominay that won the game, so, fair play to him. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that for those that were intrigued, because we were sort of reacting to it in the first half.
I suppose I should mention Southampton's comeback goal, the first one. It was a pretty sweet strike by Rothwell.
Your first goal was Premier League quality. Your first 20 minutes defending, you'd have been booted off a Sunday League pitch for it, because it was horrific. But to go 2-0 down, come back and score 5...
And then to go 3-2 down, and it was an important result that was, because Leeds were winning. Ipswich had drawn against West Brom, so all that's happened is this weekend Ipswich have lost another 2 points on the top 3 now. They're fall away.
You knew straight away, didn't you, that they were just going to alter.
I said it weeks ago, where it might still happen. I'm even convinced they might not even make the playoffs. I think they could drop off.
I think
they might have enough points.
I think they're safe enough, and they're still clawing the odd points. But I think they're out of that race now.
Depends if anybody else comes and sneaks up on them, but
I don't see
they
it.
might just about scrape on.
They're out of the
But I don't
automatic
think
race.
it'll be convincing.
I think they're out of the automatic race now.
I think the top three are the top three. It's going to be a combination of Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
Can we?
And I think it might be in that order because I think that our running is a little bit harder. I think Leicester, they're just getting them points, and it's getting
How
a
many?
bit too
How
far.
many are they unbeaten now? 25.
Yeah, but I kind of agree.
And he's
Because
whinging about his running.
They've got Leicester at Leicester, and they've got Leeds at Ellen Road.
Ipswich
So I
at
would agree that they've
Ipswich,
got the,
West Brom at West Brom. You know, they're all away games. All the
If you
top
go
sides.
to Ellen Road and smash them, I will be pleased. I'm not going to lie. Just because he's so smug. Just because he's so smug. I want to see him sat there one week, miserable as sin, just because Southampton put 4 past
I
him.
I really
Road.
hope
That's
that we
like
stay
Last game
unbeaten.
of the season.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Last game of the season.
Oh, that could be so good.
We've been saying this for a while.
Yeah. I'm saying I hope
You
it's
know what
done
my
and dusted
memory's like,
before
though?
that.
I'd literally have to sit and listen to our
Yeah.
pods over and over to know what was going on because I'm fucking useless.
But I really hope we stay unbeaten for at least another 4 weeks.
I was not asking a lot then. Jesus
I hope
Christ.
Mainly because we play Liverpool in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
At
I
Anfield, and I'd love that.
hope our nothing but wins continues for at least 3 weeks.
Oh, not very good.
But on a quick note,
Um,
I was quite happy that Chelsea beat Villa because I honestly said the other day to some Villa fans that I fancy our chances at Stamford Bridge a hell of a lot more than I fancy our chances at
Villa Park. Yeah.
I think Villa are a much better team, and Chelsea are looking awful. And then, what a performance by Chelsea! Where did that come from?
I mean, Chelsea are quite. Where were they? Were they at home or were they?
Villa Park.
Oh right, yeah, but
They
they've
played
not been
well.
that good away. I mean, it's a great ground though. Going to Stamford Bridge, I went there last year, a couple of years ago in the cup, and where we lost on penalties, unfortunately. But when they won on
not feeling
penalties,
so confident. Though. It's like,
I'd
looking
still
at-
be more confident against them than Villa.
Oh yeah, no, I am more confident against Chelsea than Villa. But it was just sort of like
Besides,
this
you
whole-
still don't know what Chelsea are going to turn
yeah.
on.
I saw, but it was just mental. I was like, I thought it was going to be like a tough, close call. I had Villa to win, and they just ran away with it. And I was like, shit. I hope that's the team we don't play.
Right, I think we should go on to our next
Oh, hang on, is this
week's.
because we're talking about FA Cup? So you just sort of like are a little bit
Yeah,
left out.
I'm
Yeah.
upset. It hurts. I'm not going to lie. I make no bones about it. It bothers me a lot. Next week's predictions. So we're going to start with the Baggies. For those that don't know, that's West Brom against the Saints, which is your unbeaten mob for 25 matches or whatever it is. Tin Ribs.
2-2.
2-2. Winning run comes to an end. Jim Jam.
I've just got a feeling the unbeaten run comes to an end.
Okay.
You said that for the last 3 weeks.
He's said that a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah.
2-0 West Brom.
2-0 West Brom.
Bloody hell.
I actually would say the same.
Got 2-0 West Brom?
Yeah.
Really?
I was thinking the same. Just because it's got to come to an end at some point.
I know
But you made
potentially
such-
it might. It
You
could be
made
over
such
before
a
that
comeback
game.
against Huddersfield. I just don't know if it's going to be next week. I'm going to go bang opposite of you, actually. I'm going to go 2-0 Saints. Although I am unsure whether it's going to finish. But it was just that, because of your comeback against Huddersfield, I genuinely think you might
Well,
just
that's a
have enough.
split score anyway. Because
Yeah,
Yeah, because all three of us gone
I think
different.
it's our first difficult game. I think. Trust me, I really hope I'm
and it's
wrong.
at Hawthorns.
Yeah.
Tough game.
So
I mean, that's where your last loss, wasn't it?
your mob,
Heading down
the
south.
Lily Whites, are heading to Plymouth.
Shall I just go first?
Yeah.
I might go 3-0 Leeds.
3-0. 10.
3-1, and they're going to score a bloody header.
Just what we
3-1.
said.
He just wants the bonus point,
No.
doesn't he?
It's just that they look. When we
It's the
played
first
Cup,
time you've mentioned
Yeah,
something that's.
But they look so dangerous off set pieces, and they even scored off a set piece. And that's like the only thing they look threatening in. And I don't. It's madness that they haven't scored a header.
I know.
Right, you'll get a bonus point if Plymouth score ahead.
Technically, I said it as well, just off camera.
Yeah, but you said 3-0.
You said 3-0, so there's
Yeah,
no
so
header there.
I backed him to
You
score.
backed it. I'm happy with the bonus
2-0
point.
to Leeds.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds. Obviously, I'll send Daryl, Max.
After we put the big boys on and absolutely demolished them, I do think we've got goals against them. But early in, they didn't really look that much of a threat. But again, set pieces worried me. I got a feeling.
So, my mob are travelling to Burnley. I genuinely, I'm going to go first because I'm going to put Arsenal down as a win. But I can genuinely see us stumbling against Burnley. I don't know why, but I can genuinely see us stumbling because it's been so smooth since the winter break that you didn't think was a break, just because you don't get a break.
We don't need it.
I'm gonna put the score it should be. I'm gonna put Arsenal 3, Burnley 0. But I can see us stumbling against them, so it wouldn't surprise me if Burnley won 2-0 or something stupid.
So when Burnley signed Trafford, that was a great signing. Having watched him, I'm really worried about him. Considering he's supposed to be like the next England goalkeeper, the amount of times he comes for a cross, and because he hits a blade of grass, he falls over or fumbles. Scary. Absolutely terrifying. And he had a calamitous moment at the weekend where he sort of looked around to the ref for like the foul. It was his player that he bumped into.
Brilliant.
And it was sort of embarrassing. And it's twice now he's done that. And I'm just like, I don't know. 1 minute he's awesome, and the next minute he's doing a little bit of a clanger. But I'm going 3-0 Arsenal because I just don't.
3-0
Burnley
Arsenal.
are just getting ripped to pieces by most teams at the moment.
Are we just going to go with 3-0, or are you actually going to...
No, luckily, I was actually going to say a different score for this one.
Okay, cool.
Bullshit.
But I am going with the fact that Burnley are not going to score, so that is 0. But I'm actually going to go that Arsenal are going to score 4. I'm
I thought he was
going
going to
with
go
the
for
extra.
outlandish 5.
Yeah.
No,
8 this time.
9.
no, I'm going for 4-0.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing though? Isn't it mad how Burnley absolutely ran away with the championship? Company had them playing amazing football. They looked great, and yet Premier League they just looked like a shadow of the...
Because when a lower... there's no way of being respectful about it. When a smaller team gets promoted into the Premier League, they need to fight. Now, Luton to get promoted, fought tooth and nail for every point Luton did when they got promoted.
Well, there was a big campaign for Burnley. They wanted their player of the season. They wanted Nathan Teller. And during the summer window, it was like free Teller, free Teller. They were like obsessed with the fact that we weren't selling Nathan Teller for 8 million or whatever they bid for him, and we were like 15 million, I think it was. It was like pay 15 million, well, you're not having him, and they were like free Teller, hashtag free Teller. Guess what? They didn't get him. He's gone to buy Leverkusen. They paid the money. They got him.
I bet he's really
good
upset
mood.
about that,
But
isn't he?
he's dead upset.
About to win the Bundesliga.
So that's
About
why.
to win the unwinnable trophy.
And I think they had Taylor Harwood-Bellis on loan last year, who's one of probably the top 4 centre-backs in the Championship this year.
Very good player.
Fantastic player.
It would probably be very difficult to pick the centre-backs for team of the year at the moment. I don't think you could.
No, easy.
I think it's Rodon and Taylor Harwood-Bellis.
I was about to say, they're my 2. Because we got Rodon because we didn't get
Harwood-Bellis.
Yeah.
So I think they are the
They are the
2,
2.
but they're throwing in other players as well, and I just think it's not
Hang
right.
on, let's look at records here. Best 2 defensive. Yeah. But
We're not too bad now.
Okay.
Now, but
They were all right before they conceded 3 against Huddersfield.
yeah, that probably didn't help. But
yeah, I mean, Leicester and Leeds have got the best defensive records. But I would still, hands down, say that the 2 best centre backs are Rodon and Bellis.
But they didn't
I haven't
sign
seen
him.
it. I've
So some
seen
of their best
bits of the
players they didn't
Championship
sign
because of you 2, but I haven't seen enough.
because they don't want to spend the money.
Mm.
That's why Burnley will be in the Championship next season, probably at this rate.
I can see them getting
I
relegated.
just find it mad how a team can do so well and just fall apart so quickly. But then again, it does seem to be a weird thing with the Championship. You'll get a lot of these teams that run away with it. Norwich, for example, obviously they don't invest. And they'd run away with the Championship and they get up and they're just absolutely mullered week in, week out. And then it's teams that get there
because of the fight.
and then bits of investment.
Burnley go up and they think we can play football against these. No, you can't.
I mean, you got to look at the fight.
Burnley cannot go and play football against Man City. It's not gonna work. You're gonna get battered.
But it's like look at Forest to get into the Premier League. Cooper just turned around. They were what was it, 15 points short away and like getting relegated. And
it was their home form.
Unreal.
Their home form was great, and that's why they stayed up last year.
Let's help again.
I think they only really got one win away from home last season. That was against us because we were the fucking crappiest team in the Premier League. One of the worst teams of all time. I think.
If it helps you, you're winning this season.
I like the Championship.
I know, yeah. You've already said you want to win it and stay in it.
To be fair, I want to win the FA Cup and stay in the Championship. I'll do at the moment.
You know what? If we get thrashed by Chelsea, but you beat Liverpool, I will back Southampton all the way. I'll even
right, okay. I'm gonna say, should that happen, I want you to put a $5 on them to win it.
Fine.
You do it?
Yeah, and I'll even buy the away shirt that he's too fucking tight-fisted to buy. And I'll wear it on a podcast.
There we go.
That's not the punishment. If he thinks he's going to get away with that being a punishment, that's not a punishment.
What I'm saying is that's how much they beat Liverpool. I'll back them. I'll want them to do it.
Okay.
I suppose the other game that we didn't really mention is Mac. They played a cup game this week.
Mac, yes, they played a team haven't 2 divisions above them in the FA Trophy, and we are now through after winning 2-0, quite convincingly winning 2-0, through to the quarterfinals. And I have said to you both, should by some miracle they get to the final, do you two want the trip to Wembley?
Absolutely.
100%. And it'll give me another excuse to actually buy the Mac shirt. I love that shirt.
I don't know which one though.
Both
home or away.
Both of them are glorious.
To be honest, if they knock them down to half price, I'll just have both.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see if they're going to go on sale towards the end of the season. If so, we'll just drive up to Mac and pick them up.
Well, we'll be there on the 2nd of March.
We are going to Mac on the 2nd of March, right? We are.
Yeah.
You don't want to play golf on the Sunday, are you?
No, I'll go play on Saturday.
That's all right then, because I would need to be in London for 10 o'clock on Sunday morning.
We're going to go.
Yeah. That's cool. That's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, I keep telling you I've got a bad memory. I don't know these things. So should Mac, by some miracle, get to the final, we will go down and we will vlog a little bit of that. We'll vlog the journey down and some bits and pieces and do some vlogs in the ground and what have you, but not while the game's on, because I'm not one of them fruitcakes that decides to record the game. I like to actually watch the game when I'm there. So it'll be like half time and before the game and after the game and stuff like that gets vlogged. Not the actual game itself, because I'm not that much of a pansy. It does wind me up when you get Sky cameras and stuff looking at the crowd and they've all got the phones up and they're looking, and all you can see is lights on the back of the phone.
See the
be present if you go in.
Switch game. The Sky TV cameraman singing Sky TV is fucking shite, and the cameraman's there singing along.
I haven't seen it.
Brilliant.
Because I know that when we've been on Sky, we were at Stoke and we were chanting that when they were doing the little interview with the players. I think it's a common theme. I imagine most teams do that. When
the thing is, though, is we've spoken about this, and if teams went for this, or not even teams, if the Premier League and the Championship and League One and all that came out with their own digital season ticket, I don't think that they'd suffer financially. I think they'd do better with it.
Yeah.
I think they would do better from it. Now, I would pay, say, 60 quid a year to have Arsenal as a season pass.
And I could watch it a lot more.
Or even sort of tenner a month. So, 120 quid a a year. So tenner a month. I'd pay tenner a month to watch every Arsenal game. Right. Imagine how much the teams would make out of that.
Yeah.
Right. Even the likes of Macclesfield, right, if they sold a digital season ticket, I don't get to every Mac game. I go to only a few, a handful. Right.
There you go.
But I would still
you pay a fiver a game?
Easy.
I'd pay a $5 a game, yeah.
So when you're talking quite a lot of games, a fiver a game, you're talking the
40
300,
games, aren't you?
400. You're getting up there, 200 quid.
Yeah, I'd pay
So
$5 a game.
so you
I
say
would
you pay
still-
60.
I'd still go
You'd
and
be
watch
willing
them.
to pay.
I'd still go and watch
200.
them as well. So it wouldn't destroy the attendances. Because when I can get to a Mac game,
Yeah.
I'd go rather than watching it on telly.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's because the
It's
atmosphere,
different.
the atmosphere is different.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though, is people keep saying, like, the amount of comments we got on TikTok last time saying, oh, well, if you did that, you'd destroy the attendances at lower level. No, you wouldn't, because
No,
if you are that person that goes to a game,
you're going to go anyway.
you want to go to games. The only reason I don't go to Mac games is because I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get there, or I'm working, or this is happening, or that's happening, or I've got my son and he doesn't want to go, or whatever it is. There's a reason why I'm not going to the Mac game. But if I can go, I'll go. I don't care if I can watch it on
Let's face it, people who support the little teams in the lower leagues, you're not doing it because it's, let's be honest.
You're not a glory on it.
You're not a glory, no, but it's like, let's be honest, when you were at school, then, I mean, obviously you didn't go to school around here, but you went to school around here, didn't you?
Yeah.
When I was at school, not one person went, I support Stafford Rangers. Not one. But they're my local team. Because if you're going to the lower leagues, you've got a passion for it. You love the atmosphere. You love that club.
Mm.
So you're going to go no matter what. You're going for the atmosphere. If you said to me, you can watch Leeds on TV, or you can go and sit in the ground, I know which one I'm choosing. I'm going to the ground every time.
Yeah.
But with work commitments, family commitments,
Inability to get tickets.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not possible to go to a game. So I'll watch it on Sky instead.
Mm.
Now, if you turn around to me and go, you can watch every game, here's every game, blah, 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 great. But I'll tell you now, I'll still go to the game if I get a chance. Because the atmosphere is so much better.
Of course,
And like I say,
it's a different experience.
With the little clubs, the atmosphere is great. And I love going to Mac games.
So, are we going to Mac in a few weeks' time? Now, it's a late night for you because it's on a Tuesday night.
They were
I think,
meant
at
to
Stafford.
Mac were meant to be playing Stafford on the 10th, but now they're playing the FA game.
Yeah.
So
it's now a midweek game.
The game against Stafford's been postponed.
It's in midweek.
What's the date, though? I haven't seen the date of it. Do you know the date?
I'll look it up.
We're going to go back to FOTMOB. Back to FOTMOB.
Because I've already looked and I was like...
I'm not asked about late nights because I can sleep during the day when I get back from work.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
For
you get paid to sleep at work.
There's no need for that. Right, for those that don't know, I generally tend to work from about midnight, which is why they're saying, a late night might be an issue. But I'll then finish work early, like midday, so I can then get a few hours sleep when I get back on that particular day.
So I genuinely don't think it would destroy revenue for a small club. I think it'd generate it.
Tuesday
it would generate
Tuesday the 19th of March.
Tuesday the 19th of March, and it's at Stafford Rangers.
At Stafford Rangers.
I don't think we've got any choice but to go, really.
But he's obviously got the biggest issue because he works nights and
shifts,
noons.
Yeah,
so
Tinridge's the only one that works shifts. What a scumbag. I'm sure you can book the Wednesday off.
Tuesday, 9th of March.
19th.
19th of March, sorry. Afternoons, I'll have to see if it's available.
He needs to book the day off.
Obviously, I finish at 5, so
you'd be able to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so awesome.
I can lend you a Mac scarf if you want to show your support.
But that's the point, isn't it?
You need a Mike shirt to go on offer before then on the 2nd, and hopefully when we're up there we can.
We're going on that conversation just right. So if I want to go see the Mac game, right?
Yeah.
But now I can't. Just say I can't turn it off. But if I've got the season pass, I can watch it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't miss out. But the option's still there for me to go and see it.
Yeah.
It will not. I can't see for 1 second how it would affect revenue. I think it's a positive thing.
I think it could only be a positive thing. There's a group on Facebook, right, which is for
It needs to benefit the club, so
but
not
that's the
Sky
thing.
TV or anything.
Macclesfield sell a season pass.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. There's a group on Facebook literally for Macclesfield expats, and they're from Mac, but they now live all over the country or even all over Europe. There's a guy from Spain in there, right? He would pay £5 a game, £10 a month, £15 a month, whatever it was. Yeah. He'd pay it so he could watch the games. He can't fly over from Spain every 3 days to watch a game in Macclesfield. It's just not going to happen. Or it's Stafford or Hensford or whichever. Yeah. I say Macclesfield just because that's
also, how many
team
people
for me.
A small team?
Loads. There's loads and loads and loads.
I mean, it's people who have, for example, yourself, Arsenal, Mac. Yourself, you might have Stafford Rangers or now Mac. I mean,
I always look out for Stone Old Lanian's results.
Yeah, but
there you go.
So we've all got smaller teams.
I could name. I'm not going to because we're on a podcast, but I could name 10 people now that live around here that support Everton, Man United. There's some that support Leeds or whatever, but they'll go and watch Stafford Rangers.
Absolutely,
they'll still go to the ground at Stafford Rangers, even though they support Everton or they support Man United because they want to support the local team. They want to put the money into the local team. It's not that they don't put money into Everton, Man United. They still buy the shirts, they'll still buy the merchandise, they'll still buy programs online or whatever it is, but they want to put the money into the local team. Like, okay, I don't do it for Stafford Rangers, even though they're my now local team, but my history suggests that I'm Macclesfield, so I stick with them. But I still put money into a lower league because I still follow Mac and I still go to the games. I'll buy the shirts and scarves and wallets and fucking God knows what else. I'll buy all sorts of shit, but I still buy Arsenal stuff as well.
I bought loads of Leeds shirts when we were in Division 1, at League 1.
I saw the fact that your son had a Mac shirt. Your son had a Mac shirt on TikTok the other day.
Oh yes, for those that only watch us on YouTube, and there is a few that only listen to us on YouTube. We do have obviously a podcast on the audio medium, and I've uploaded the last podcast I did yesterday with Zach. And I've uploaded the full podcast. I was only going to do a snippet of it just to show what we do on our Patreon page. But I've actually put the full podcast that me and Zach have done yesterday up on our audio medium. So if you go to any of your popular podcast sites, your Amazon, your Spotify, Podbean, any of your popular ones, you will be able to listen to the full podcast that I've done with Zach, or at least the latest one, which is actually episode 5 now that I've done with Zach. So that's pushing on a little bit now as well, because I only see him every other week.
At least he's got a shirt now that
I'm not
might
ashamed
win a
of.
Trophy.
He's got a shirt I'm not ashamed of.
Because all his other shirts, they're never going to win a trophy.
Yeah, I started it with the piss take of the Tottenham badge. That's what the actual episode is framed with. That piss take of the cock roll that looks like it's been frazzled
because it has
on top of a beach ball.
Yeah, it's from Moana.
Yes, yeah. So it's just funny. And then at the end, I've put a picture of my son wearing his Macclesfield goalkeeper shirt from 2018, if I'm right. It's a shirt you actually liked when you saw it and you wanted one, but I couldn't get it in your size at the time, so I ended up not buying you one because it wasn't there. But yeah, so if you are interested in what is available on Patreon, just have a go over to the audio medium and have a listen, and you can hear my latest podcast with Zach. I won't be putting a lot out into the ether because obviously it is on Patreon and it's there for people that are over there. But yeah, it's there for you to listen to. So I think we should call it a day. I don't know how long we've been going.
Far too long.
Oh well. To be fair, people say that about me anyway, really. I don't. Right, so yeah, we'll leave it there, and we shall see you beautiful, beautiful people next week. And hopefully I'll remember to update how we're getting on, because I was going to comment on how many downloads we've had and how many views we've had on certain platforms, and I completely forgot. So I'll do that next week. I'm going to leave everyone in suspense.
Prepped again.
I know, yeah.
No, I was prepped because I've got the numbers. I just forgot to do it. But then you know what I'm like. My memory's horrendous. I'll probably forget again. Anyway, so yeah, we'll talk to you next week. We love you all very much. Bye-bye.